18-8 between the Blue Jays and the Yankees a year ago. 7-2 this year. Mixes in the occasional curve and changeup, often from different arm angles. Struck him out.
That is the first time I've seen him pitch Brady Anderson like he's a 50 home run.
The Yankee left-hander, Mike Mussina, the Oriole right-hander who won 19. Zeal with a one-out walk. And the boos, of course, are for Roberto Alomar. A 5-game suspension, not to be served until next April. That really set off the public furor. Hopped back of second base, Jeter out, Bernie Williams in shallow center for the catch. It's really the combination of the act and the slap on the wrist penalty. Another 3-2 pitch. And a walk. The second issued in the inning by Cone. So an RBI chance for Bobby Bonilla now.
Orioles hitters, I think he should.
And now the bases are loaded on 3 first-inning walks.
But David Cone, one of his better pitches is the high fastball. I mean, he can get away with having them chase fastballs out of the strike zone.
An outstanding start yet through 5 games for many of his starters. This is in the air to center. Bernie Williams has it. You can almost hear the sigh of relief all over Yankee Stadium. 3 walks. None of them come home. The Orioles leave the bases loaded.
And David Wells, a hard-throwing left-hander with a pretty decent breaking ball. Change of pace from time to time. Top half of the inning. Raines particularly looked like he may be having problems out there.
A liner to right center. It drops for a hit. And Jeter, who was batting .500 for the postseason before that at-bat, continues to sizzle. 0-1 pitch, a line drive over the leaping Alomar. And stopping at second is Jeter. So back-to-back singles in the bottom of the first, and the Yankees have 2 on with nobody out. And a liner to right, a 3rd consecutive hit. Jeter being waved home by Willie Randolph. He scores. The Yankees lead 1-0, and Raines slides in at 3rd.
Come off of fastballs.
A bouncing ball to Alomar. Short hops it, flips to Ripken for 1. Lots of time with fielder running to complete the double play, but Raines scores to make it 2-0 New York. From behind the clouds, left center field, Anderson and Surhoff, and it's B.J. Surhoff who makes the catch. But on 3 singles, the Yankees put together a couple of runs. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Cone. The Orioles fan a lot. They went... B.J. Surhoff bouncing it to Martinez. A tough hop, but he handles it for the unassisted putout.
Another nice play there by an infielder. Martinez has gone 82 games.
Hit 258 home runs this year. If you're scratching your head, since the Orioles had a record 257 as a team, you got to figure in Murray and Zeal's totals from other clubs, which didn't count toward the Oriole team total. Hoyles rolls out. In contrast to the first, it's an easy second for Cones.
He just told his sister, hey, be quiet. If it wouldn't have been for me, you wouldn't even be here today.
Backhanded by Ripken on the Duncan roller. Long throw, got it. It's on the front page of all the newspapers, and you can't deny his exuberance. A liner off O'Neill's bat, actually split the bat in 2, but there's a base hit for him. And there's something about a kid taking his glove to the ball game, playing hooky from school, and the guy who took the ball away from him, little Jeff, didn't wind up with the ball, and now says the ball is for sale. It's very valuable. He wants to find out what the market is for it. Innocence lost, and Charlie Hayes gone.
Beautiful curveball there from David Wells. David Wells is basically a fastball pitcher, and he comes after you.
O'Neill at first. Yankees lead at 2-0, bottom of the second. Girardi hit .294 for the year. Alomar to Ripken, and that'll do it in the second. After 2 at Yankee Stadium, game 2 of the LCS. Yankees 2, O's nothing.
And a half. Look at that.
Well, there's the 4th walk issued by Cone, and he gives it to Anderson leading off in the top of the 3rd. Tomorrow night in primetime, it
started towards second base, but he gets back safely.
He's going, and Zeal with a long drive to left that could tie the game, and it will. On the 3-1 pitch, constantly pitching from behind, finally catches up with Cone. And Todd Zeal really needed that. He ended the regular season in a terrible slump. Just had a few measly singles to show for the postseason up until that swing.
Well, again, Bob, you hit it right on the button. I mean, pitching constantly from behind. Sooner or later, somebody's going to nail you.
The incident, but that's about all the respective parties can do at this point.
I think the one thing,
he reaches for this, hits it softly into right, and O'Neill gets there.
I think the one thing that helped the situation here with Alomar, Bob, is the fact that the Yankees won last night.
Well, you said you wanted to see him at 80 pitches. He's getting there in a hurry. He strikes Palmeiro out. That's his 3rd strikeout.
In Baltimore, and he hit a grand slam after a walk.
Well, Cone again pulling the string, records consecutive strikeouts to end the inning, but he gives up 2. The 0-2 pitch, a fastball in on his hands, lifted into shallow left. Surhoff in, Ripken out, Surhoff for the catch. Surhoff told us before today's game that the fly ball off the bat of highest payrolls in baseball. In fact, the 4 remaining teams vying for the World Series, in the air to right, Bonilla going back, shy of the track, reaches up to make the catch for the second out. The 4 remaining teams, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Braves, and the Cardinals. The 1-0 to Fielder. Hopped into shallow right. Bonilla coming on. And the Yankees are done in the 3rd. Still a 2-2 game. Back to the Bronx after this. The lights are on at Yankee Stadium, although this afternoon has been a mixture of sun and clouds. Hit toward the hole and off the hand of the lunging Charlie Hayes, and Ripken with a huge turn before the ball is pegged back into the infield. Now Cal goes diving on his belly back into first with nobody out on the 4th. And Murray lifts this one into shallow center. Jeter back, Williams in, and it falls between them, but they may get the force at second, and they do. Wow. As Ripken had to pull up, anticipating that it would be caught. Well, Jeter, who is very good at going back,
If they play, both of them play, demands that they take charge.
the ball bounces away from Girardi, and here is Murray cruising down to second.
And you don't hear Williams calling.
Rolled down to Martinez. Behind the bag, he takes it himself. Murray to 3rd, but with 2 out now. And it will be up to the number 9 hitter, Chris Hoyles. Let's watch the play in shallow center again.
To finish up that play, Joe, Jeter was right there. All he's got to do is turn around and make the catch.
Hayes back of 3rd. Across the diamond. The throw is true. And the Yankees are out of the 4th. It remains a 2-2 game. Boggs and Darryl Strawberry. Boggs and Strawberry not in the lineup today. Ooh! Martinez is plunked, and plunked hard. Gritting his teeth as he heads down to first.
I mean,
Would you tell a guy, look out, we're going to flip you here?
I'd say, be alive, be ready.
Duncan hits it hard. Zeal comes up with it. Pegs it to Alomar and on to first. And the Orioles turn a difficult and nifty double play. On the mound. Another 3-2 pitch. And a 2-out walk. Thursday night means, as you know, must-see TV. All
Job all the way down there.
Hayes starting at third base instead of Boggs against the left-hander. Struck out his first time. Hits it well to deep left center field. Anderson over with Surhoff. Surhoff goes to his knees to make the catch. I'm not so sure he had a real bead on that ball, but the Orioles survive it.
And now he throws a slow breaking ball on the outside corner.
Center field, Bernie Williams almost in his tracks. 1 out. Well, let's go back to the bottom of the fourth. But generally speaking, against the Yankees this year, the Orioles have not homered at their usual pace. Into shallow right, O'Neill coming on, and he makes the catch, and again, he is not running well.
Now, you can see him hobbling, Bob. You're right. That's what he was trying to do to Alomar there. Start him off inside and have that ball come back to catch the inside. He just missed.
Reaches for that one, bounces it toward the middle, and Jeter can't get to it.
David Cone has gone to his breaking ball most exclusively here this inning.
Summing up here. There goes Alomar, and a bouncer to the right side. Duncan gobbles it up. Palmeiro's history. The Orioles strand 1. Halfway through in the Bronx, tied at 2, game 2. 30 Rock, as some of you may have heard. In fact, if you tuned into the Today Show this morning, you saw as Joe Girardi comes to the plate and smacks one into right center field, and this ball gets down and into the gap, goes to the wall. He runs well for a catcher. He's thinking about a triple. The throw from Alomar. It's close. He's in there. Wells has struck out 1. His 2-2 pitch. And there's 2 when he needs it. Wells is not overpowering in that regard. He struck out 130 in 224 innings, but he can get the occasional K, and that ball can come off the bat very quickly and get right on top of you. Raines works a walk. Raines was the guy that Wells wanted to get.
Well, David Wells thought he had the inside corner. Wow.
Put a check next to that.
Yeah, for sure. Breaking ball.
Got him. David Wells had struck out only 1 through the first 4 innings. But he gets 2 here in the 5th.
But until he got 2 strikes, he's trying to hit it out of the ballpark.
Hit sharply. Alomar playing deep, lots of time. Over to Palmeiro. A leadoff triple goes to waste. Gutty pitching in the 5th by Wells.
Out with a breaking ball or the splitter. Now he's using those to set up his fastball.
On 3 pitches, he dispatches Bonilla. Let's go back to the job Wells did.
You see the slider, but the overhand curveball I still think is the most effective pitch.
Ripken goes the other way. A little flare over the head of Tino Martinez for a 1-out single. The second hit of the day for Cal. On 3-2, Ripken breaks, and he'll have to come back. A lazy fly to right. O'Neill for the catch.
Upstairs.
On 3-2, Ripken breaks, and he'll have to come back. A lazy fly to right. O'Neill for the catch. Well, David Cone has walked 4, 3 of them in the first inning. Surhoff lines it into center. Ripken stops at second. 2 on, 2 out.
That was a case right there where I think that he feels like he's tired because he did not want to waste the pitch. He had Surhoff 0-2.
Well, the other thing, Joe, when you're talking about pitchers, continue after this pitch to Hoyle.
There go the runners, and they're loaded up on the walk.
Well, he got to go now.
Especially with Brady Anderson heading for the plate. With the bases loaded and Cone shaking his head.
Inning with a 2-2 tie.
In the air to left, toward the line, Rains over, into foul ground, reaches in and he's got it. He had to fight a fan, but that ball was live. That wouldn't have been so controversial for Rich Garcia. Another 1-2 pitch. Off speed, hit hard. Off the chest of Palmeiro. Wells covers, and they get the out. A bullet, and Palmeiro stayed with it and almost ate him up. The double because it was decided that the fan had touched it reaching over the fence, and while it would have hit the wall, it would not have gone out. This one's down the line and left, and it's right on the chalk. A fair ball bouncing up, and Garcia has another call to make. The 1-2 pitch, and O'Neill goes down swinging. Wells has struck out 4, but 3 of them have come with runners in scoring position in the last 2 innings. In fact, did Hayes go around? He did. The ball gets away, but Hayes didn't break right away. He could have made it a closer play if he'd realized what was happening, and Hoyles tosses him out. 5 strikeouts for Wells, still tied at 2 this far. And now Joe Torre hands the ball to Jeff Nelson, who worked a perfect 8th yesterday.
Because of where they set up to a catcher. In this case was Zeal. Look where Scott's setting up.
Hit to second, Duncan in front of it. And there's the first out on the 7th. Alomar's 1 for 3. And that ball is inside third base for extra bases. Chased by Rains, and Alomar in with a double. David Wells hoping his team can assume the lead for him here. And Palmeiro lifts this one to deep right. Back goes O'Neill all the way to the fence, and it's out of here. A towering fly ball that just kept on climbing into the early evening sky at Yankee Stadium. And Palmeiro, for the 2nd straight day, has homered on a pair of 2-run homers, one by Zeal, which tied it. And now this one by Palmeiro. The Orioles have taken the lead 4-2. 2-2 pitch to Bonilla. And Nelson strikes him out. It's the 3rd time Bonilla has fanned. Rolled towards second. Duncan bobbles it and blows an easy play. Ripken aboard on the error. So that gives Murray a cut at it here. He's 0 for 3. Not anymore. Through the hole on the left side. Baseball with his dad. From the time he was a little kid, he was around professional baseball, so he carried himself like a veteran from the time he broke in. But Murray helped. A chopper over the mound. Jeter to his left, steps on the bag, and Nelson averts further difficulty. But the 2-run homer by Palmeiro has the Orioles in front 4-2. 4-2 Baltimore, trying to even the ALCS. Up the middle, base hit.
Well, the Yankees have done their best.
Wells ahead of Jeter 0-2. And he strikes him out. Throws him that curveball on the 0-2 pitch. And now he has 6 strikeouts. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. Slice to right. Over is Bonilla, and Bobby runs it down. With Girardi retreating to first with 2 out now, and that leaves it up to Bernie Williams. Tonight,
and make him take or make him swing at a bad pitch. That's what the whole game is about.
hit hard toward the hole. It's through. Singles by Girardi leading off, and Williams with 2 out on the 7th. Put runners at first and second.
Just as big a hurry to get to you.
Normally that's how you see pitchers come in after the game is over.
Davey Johnson hoping to get out of the Bronx with a split. Game 3 tomorrow night at Camden Yards. Hit hard and through for a base hit. Here comes Girardi. No throw to the plate. It's 4-3 with Williams stopping at second with the potential tying run. Hey,
we haven't run into her.
If she could survive that, she'll probably live to be 180.
No.
Not too often, anyway.
Duncan on deck. Hit sharply, but Alomar is there. Blocks it. Stays with it. And gets him. The Yankees score 1, but strand 2, and the Orioles still have the lead. Last night's game, 4 hours or so. Afternoon into night. O'Neill in right field. Retires Hoyles. This game well over 3 hours already. You know, you're right.
That's better. Don't say true.
Man has become so touchy. There's a base hit by Anderson. His first hit of the day. Lined into right center field. Bernie Williams sprinting toward it. Won't get to it. Around second is Brady Anderson. In at third easily.
Torrey is making this move. Plus, it's easier to double him up from the right side. But he's a much better hitter from the left side.
In the air to right. The Yankees hoping it fades into foul ground, which it does. O'Neill makes the catch, and the runner tags. The run will score before they get Zeal in the rundown and tag him out. So the run will count. And we'll sort it all out when we come back. Except we can tell you this. It's 5-3 Baltimore.
The guy to go halfway, half speed.
Duncan goes down swinging. And now let's revisit that play.
Off, etc., etc. Joe Torre's forced to use people in situations where he's not comfortable with them.
Orozco knocks it down, has time, and retires Leyritz. So now with 2 out and nobody on at the bottom of the 8th. The 0-2 pitch. Ripken with the dive, can't get it. A 2-out single for Charlie Hayes. Center field, Brady Anderson drifting into right center, calling Bonilla off and making the catch. The Yankees are down to their last 3 outs.
By Phil Goddard in Milwaukee. Strictly against left-handers and occasionally a right-hander. But that breaking ball.
Here comes Martinez in to glove it and take it himself. One first baseman retires the other. The Orioles have officially filed their protest. Roger Maris's 61st home run ball 35 years ago. That aside, as Bonilla, after being ahead 3-0, goes down on strikes, the 4th time he is struck out today. He walked and then struck out 4 straight times. They've got to be reasonably happy with that. Rolled to short. Jeter takes care of Ripken. On to the bottom of the 9th with the Yanks down by 2. theory, have a Hall of Fame career and never start in the All-Star game. If he stays in the same league as Rodriguez. Toward the hole, a base hit.
The one thing you try to do if you're trailing in the late innings is try to bring the tying run to the plate.
Jeter at first. Not going. And a swing and a miss rather than a tip. Raines was contending that he tipped it, and Hoyles didn't hold it.
Put him on and bring the other guy, and he does it. It's over.
The 3-1. He walks him.
Well, Joe Torre couldn't ask for anything more. He's got the winning run up there now. Tying runs on, and Cecil Fielder.
In the person of Cecil Fielder. Against Armando Benitez. Once more. In the air, wide of first. Does Palmeiro have room? He reaches in and does. Right along that barrier. And this time, 2 out, 2 on. A 2-run lead in the bottom of the 9th. And a 2-0 pitch coming. Swinging a fly ball to right. Might have had a pitch he could do something with, but he didn't get it. And Tarasco does. So Tarasco, in the center of controversy last night, squeezes the final out in what was, by our calculations, the longest 9-inning game by time in postseason history.